Mr. Bayu Nugroho, PhD. They have exactly the same name, Bayu Nugroho or Nugraha. So maybe they can explain how to differentiate their name later. And as the moderator today, I will introduce him briefly by reading his curriculum vitae, Pak Bayu Nugroho, PhD curriculum vitae. Mr. Bayu graduated from doctorate program in biosystem in KU Leuven, Belgium, and completed master degree in agricultural and biosystem engineering in UGM. His research fields is in biosystem, post-harvest engineering, and biocomputations. His works experiences is a currently lectural department of agricultural and biosystem engineering in Universitas Gadjah Mada, Indonesia. He is also the examiner of agricultural machinery testing and post-harvest testing laboratory UGM. Some of his achievements are LPDP Scholarship Awardee for doctoral degree. It's a very high reputable scholarship in Indonesia. Also, JASO Research Fund Awardee, Dikti Scholarship Awardee for master degree, and Outstanding Student Aid Program Scholarship Awardee. Without further ado, we have with us already Bayu Nugroho, PhD. Without further ado, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are still enjoying this moment in this summer course. And I'm Bayu Nugraha, the moderator of this session. And now we already have Dr. Bayu Dwi Apri Nugroho. We have a similar name, but of course, he is not my big brother. And I will read his CV. The full name is Bayu Dwi Apri Nugroho, me, Bayu Nugraha. And he got a master and doctoral degree from Iwate University, Japan. He already written some books about climatology and got some awards. One of awards is Indonesian Young Inspirations from National Televisions, and also the best lecturer from Universitas Gadjah Mada in 2020. And also he got the best lecturer 2 times from Faculty of Agricultural Technology in 2014 and 2016. So now he is going to present about smart farming. It's something more advanced about agriculture. And without further ado, I will give the time to Dr. Bayu Dwi Apri Nugroho.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Gadjah Mada. I hope you enjoy in here. Okay, I will share my presentation. Okay, it's my honor to be here in the 6th summer course Smart Agri-Industry, Adaptive Technology for Sustainable Agro-Industrial Sector in a Response to Climate Change. Today, my name is Bayu Dwi Apri Nugroho. I am from Department of Agricultural and Biosystem Engineering, Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Gadjah Mada. And today I will share my experience, my knowledge about implementation of agricultural ecosystem based on smart farming technology to adapt and mitigate the effect of climate change in Indonesia. And before I explain all my presentation, first I will introduce again. Mr. Bayu also introduced me, but I will introduce by myself. There is some news, also some publication about me that in 2020, publication in Harian Jogja is one of newspaper in Yogyakarta. Is about I created smart farming application with mobile apps, and also in 2019 I got award from the Asia Smart App Award in Hong Kong, and also in 2020 I developed that smart farming not only agricultural purposes, but I developed that smart farming for environmental purposes, especially how to greenhouse gases estimation. And then in 2021, from the Kompas.com is one of the biggest newspaper in Indonesia as innovative figure. And also, as mentioned by moderator, that in 2020, I got award the best lecturer in Universitas Gadjah Mada. And then this Young Inspiration 2021 from one of the biggest televisi program in Indonesia, from Kompas TV. And then also I got in 2021 got award from Hermes Startup Award in Hannover Messe in Germany 2021. And this is some from the one of station television program on Kompas TV that the segment title about smart farming, overcoming crop failure, feature the use of automatic weather station demonstration tools to showcase how smart farming techniques can address crop failure challenges. Next, this is my books that I wrote some books from 2016 until 2021. That in 2016 I wrote about climate change. This is in Indonesia, but in English is about global climate phenomenon, climate change and its effect in Indonesia. First edition in 2016, and then 2020 second edition, also on the same title. And then in 2021, I wrote about implementation of climatology in agriculture 4.0. In this book, I wrote about how climatological data to support the agricultural 4.0. Next, this is my outline of my presentation today. First, I will explain about climate change, but I believe all of you today got some material from the previous lecturer. So in this explanation, I will give a review and a little review about climate change, and then concept of smart farming. Also, I believe all of you also got a material about smart farming from the previous lecturer. And then about current problems. How about current problem, especially in Indonesia, in relate with climate change, relate with how implementation of technology, smart farming. And then the next is about solution. In this case, agricultural ecosystem with smart farming technology. And then the next is about technology. What is the technology appropriate in on-farm, off-farm, also about traceability, and also how to monitoring farmers, land, and so on with dashboard monitoring. And then some case studies, our project with Asian Development Bank, and then with Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Information and Telecommunication, and other implementation with private sector, with bank, and so on. And then the last is about conclusion of my presentation. Next, this is about climate change. We can see in here that the head of meteorological, climatological, and geophysical agency said that the extreme weather is evidence that climate change is happening now. In Indonesia, we remember that in 2022 was La Nina. More much rainfall occurred in 2022, and last year, 2023, was El Nino. So, which delayed planting season, and we often we will often face this phenomenon. In this year, some researchers said that from June until August is El Nino, and then June until October will La Nina, much rainfall from August to October. So this very related with agriculture. And about description of climate change regarding to number 31 2009, which refer to UNFCCC or United Nations Convention on Climate Change, define climate change as a condition where climate change is caused directly or indirectly by human activities that cause change in the composition of the global atmosphere, as well as change in natural climate variability observed in comparable time frames. So from this definition, we got 3 keywords. First is about human activities, and then second about change in the composition of the atmosphere, and the third about comparable time frames. And the standard from World Meteorological Organization, if we talk about climate change, is about 30 years. And this is the process how climate change occurred. We can see here from human activities and then emission, that this emission will be changed concentration in atmospheric and then radiative forcing, or we call radiative forcing, it's same with global warming, and then climate change after 30 years. And also, if we talk about weather or we talk about climate, it's like pattern. Morning, afternoon, night, morning, afternoon, night, and so on. So, basic this pattern that climate operation definition is statistical description of climatic elements such as temperature, precipitation, wind, and so on, which states the mean and variance over time ranging from months to millions of years. According to, I said before, that World Meteorological Organization is 30 years. We can see in this picture that a climate change could happen if during 30 years, average change, or in this case is mean, and then changing variation, and then also average change and variation. So this source from HEL to 2000, and if average change and variation, that change to extreme accident is increasing. And this is the vulnerable sector to climate change. In the case in Indonesia, that many sectors is influenced by climate change. First is about agriculture, with land degradation, seed and crop failure, shifting on planting and crop calendar. We remember that last year El Nino so delay planting season and from October to December. So harvest time also delay. And then second is health. Weather-related mortality, respiratory and cardiovascular disease, newborn vector, and then ecosystem and forest, loss of tropical forest, small island, coral bleaching, and biodiversity, and then shifting of ecological zone, loss of habitat and species. And then fourth, water resource, increasing water stress, decreasing quality aquifer and groundwater. And 5, about extreme weather, increasing in frequency and scale of intensity of extreme weather, drought, tropical cyclone, landslide, and also forest fire. Okay, this most frequent natural disaster in 1815 until 2016 in Indonesia. That 3 most frequent is flood, tornado, and landslide. This data from National Agency for Disaster Management in 2021, and also in economic data that in the last 10 years Indonesia lost related to the disaster up to 162 trillion. This is data from the Ministry of National Development Planning or Bappenas in 2015. Next, I will explain about the concept of smart farming. How climate change relate with smart farming. First is about concept smart farming. If we talk about smart farming is the application of modern information and communication technology or ICT into agriculture is divided into three factor. First is management information system or MIS. If we talk MIS, we should about planning, controlling until decision making, not only data but also until decision making. What should I do? What should farmers do with the data? This is management information system. And the second about precision agriculture. Precision agriculture is like about we hungry and then we need to eat. So how many we should give the food, like something like that. And then the third is about agricultural automation and robotic. The process of implementing robotic, automatic control, and artificial intelligence at all levels of agricultural production, including livestock and farm drones. This source from Ministry of Agriculture in 2019. And what is the advantage of smart farming? Is we talk about smart farming, also it's like just technology. So also we need about participation from the farmers. So the advantage of smart farming, first increasing productivity, and then data and information are obtained in real time and accurately, and then increasing resource and cost efficiency, and then facilitating monitoring and controlling, and the last increasing product quality. This is the advantage of smart farming. So next, this is a current problem in Indonesia that we know the current problem of Indonesia is about climate change that this not only Indonesia, but also in the on the world that is about climate change, and Indonesia is affected in agricultural sector. Data from Ministry of Agriculture that productivity decreased around 20% from 2018 until 2021 due to climate change. Many crops were cultivated and harvest failed due to unpredictable weather, especially rainfall. We can see in here that's a flood and then drought and also forest fire and so on. And this is why it's happened. Many crops, harvest failure, and then also cultivate failure. Why? We indicate that those two major problems. First, about knowledge of climate change. And second, number two, the knowledge about climate change in the farmers not yet enough. If we go to village tomorrow, you will go to the village and you can ask them, the farmers, about why this month is a rainy season, but why? Right, but why still dry, for example, like that. And when start the planting season? If we talk to the farmers, the answer is normal. It's just wrong season. And then the next will be normal. This about knowledge of climate change in the farmers level. They will answer on that. Sometimes they compare with the last year or last season to start the planting season, but the condition is different. We cannot compare, we cannot use last year as our source. For example, last year, 2023, El Nino. 2022, La Nina. So if we use 2022 to start planting off-season in 2023, it's wrong because different. And then sometimes they compare, they use preferential from 2000 last year to start planting season in this year. this knowledge about climate change in farmer level. And one is about level of weather information. If we see from the smartphone on our computer that connected with internet, the level of weather information and weather prediction until sub-district level. It will make a problem if we will implement it to agriculture, because weather is very fluctuative and dynamic. Sometimes 2 or 3 kilometers condition is different. For example, in village A, not rain. So, and then we go 2 or 3 kilometers from village A, maybe the condition is cloudy. So it will be influence the cultivation method for the farmers. So the level information, weather information from our smartphone or computer we connected is the level is still in sub-district level. In agriculture, it's very influenced. So in agriculture, we should the level is village or land. And the other challenges about the climate change, unpredictable weather, and then determining planting schedule and determining the best commodity to be planted, controlling and managing soil fertility, and about selling commodity with fair price. This is the current problem in Indonesia. And the most important is about regeneration of farmers. I think if we talk about regeneration of farmers, maybe not only Indonesia, but also the other countries. In Indonesia, the average of farmers with data from BPS, Statistical Organization, is around up to 50 years. So it's very dangerous in the future if young people not interested in agriculture or as a farmers. And one of the methods to make young people interested in agriculture is using technology. Smart farming is one of technology to get the young farmers. We should introduce technology in agriculture so young people can see that in agriculture we can apply technology like drones, apps, and also the others. And this from the problem like smart climate change and then smart farming. What is the solution? This is the solution. Solution is we should integrate it, agritech, agricultural technology, and agribusiness in an agricultural ecosystem. Various integrated platform like sensors, application, drones, website help farmers in cultivation from on-farm to off-farm, from land to table. We can see in here that on-farm farming more precisely with technology, and then in monitoring land condition using dashboard monitoring agricultural apps, and then from off-farm transaction with fair price. And this is the concept of agricultural ecosystem with technology. We can see in here that each parameter should be included in this agricultural technology, agricultural ecosystem. First is about agribusiness paradigm change. In this case, that from small land to corporate farming. And then the second is about institutional consolidation, that empowering farmers as entrepreneurs. And the third about innovation and technology adoption, that the novelty on cultivation, novelty on post-harvest technology, and novelty on packaging. And then fourth about synergy, that a unified vision and implementation. And then logistic, that efficiency in logistics, implementation of IT, information technology, that using apps, dashboard, information system, and so on. Off-taker, that guarantee yield from farmers, support in accompanying about quality of yield, and then bank and insurance. It's provide farm credit and also agricultural insurance. Each parameter should be involved in this concept of agricultural ecosystem. So based on these 8 parameters, we learn about whole agribusiness from land to table. And this is to support this agricultural ecosystem. We need some feature in the apps. First is a warning and art notification, and then agricultural article, pest identification, microfinance connection, asking expert using chatbot, and also voice comment, weather monitoring using BMKG or meteorological agency, and then soil and weather monitoring information using sensor in the land, and then recommendation for farmers. And the last about historical good agricultural practices, like the farmers should be write about logbook every day, their daily activity should write and from cultivate until harvest. And this is voice feature. We can talk like Siri or Google Siri in app in Apple or Google Voice in Android. Next about technology. What is the technology appropriate with in agriculture, on farm, off farm, traceability and dashboard monitoring? We can see in here that many technologies involved in this farm. Drones divided into two drones, drone surveillance and drone sprayer. In the left set is drone surveillance to mapping, and then the right set is drone sprayer. And what is the function of this drone? First, we talk about drone surveillance. If we talk with drone surveillance, this drone has three functions. First is give recommendation or as recommendator. As we know that agriculture, especially in Indonesia, is very unique. In the same area, between each land is different. It depends on farmer fertility of land, water availability, and so on. So based of capture from the surveillance, we can choose what is the technology, what is the sensor is suitable with the land condition as recommendator. And the two, during planting season, for example, for paddy, around 3 months or 100 until 120 days, this drone surveillance will capture 2 or 3 times to fix or monitor plant condition like health plant condition. So in the harvest season, we can predict how many tons per hectare or productivity of paddy in the harvest time. And then three, in relate with agricultural insurance, as we know that until now, compensation, if any complaint from farmer about plant damage is done by manually and need more time around 6 until 12 months. So using drone surveillance, just capture and process will be faster. This is the first stage. And the second stage, we set up weather and soil sensor with connection with apps in smartphone. If we talk about sensor, it's not new technology. It's not new technology. It's common technology because student from senior high school or in undergraduate student can make it, or we can buy directly using online shop. But in this technology, the sensor connection with apps and using algorithm, artificial intelligence, to translate the data and give the simple information to the farmer as notification and recommendation, including weather prediction in specific area. And the third stage is drone sprayer. In this technology, relate with sensor, is drone sprayer will fly based on recommendation from the sensor. For example, fertilization schedule from 10 days after planting. So we can check with what is the recommendation for 10 days in weather in this land. If recommendation is cloudy and please give fertilize, so drone sprayer will fly. This relationship or this connection between drone surveillance, sensor, our farm monitoring system, and also drone sprayer. And this is the sample of implementation of drone in agriculture. This for health. vegetation stress, for detect disease, monitor crop health, irrigation and drainage management, and we compare with precision agriculture and conventional. This connection with drone and Tuto tractor. Okay, next about after drone surveillance, we go to farm monitoring, that the how it works, soil and weather sensor. As I mentioned, that any from the data, raw data, and then we got notification and recommendation that from the sensor, then collected weather and soil data in real time, then go to server, and then will appear in farmer's smartphone with notification and recommendation, not only in raw data, but we should give the information to the farmer with easy and simple information. We can see in here, for example, with notification, fertility was low. So the recommendation, the farmer should be give fertilizer, blah, 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 like something like that. So, and this notification and recommendation directly to the farmer smartphone. And this is the interface of weather information that we can see in here, that real-time weather monitoring, experience the power of real-time weather inside your fingertips, monitor ground condition live, enabling swift reaction to change weather pattern, and then weather history in the field, and then got notification and recommendation based on real-time condition in the line. This some testimony from the farmers, that the farmers said after using apps, after using technology, the nutrient was saved up to 50% of fertilizer. And then we can see in this recommendation, the current air temperature is below the best temperature for rice growth. So the recommendation is choose rice variety that are resistant to cold temperature, for example, like that. Soil pH is currently above the best pH limit for rice growth, for example, like that. Then that directly to the farmer's smartphone. And then this is why we should monitoring soil and weather condition is important, because the importance of precise weather prediction to determine plant schedule, to measure water need, to determine the best commodity to be planted, and then the importance of understanding soil condition to determine an effective cultivation methods, to control the use of agri input, and then early warning system, notify that what farmers have to do based on real-time soil and weather situation comprehensively, and then real-time information. Farmer will receive real-time information about their soil and weather situation in the areas where sensor is installed. And this is our proof of concept that my research in 2008 until 2013. We research on manual and semi-automatic soil and weather sensor in rainfall with my professor from Japan. And then 2013 until 2017, also with from Jirkas from Japan, we set up many automatic telemetry soil and weather sensor. And then also in 2018 until 2013, 19, water discharge data validation in East Nusa Tenggara, and until now the soil and weather data validation in some province. And this is our proof of concept also, that our soil and weather and water discharge sensor was recognized as a precise agroclimate research technology nationally. And the second in off-farm that about agribusiness is in agricultural ecosystem with technology, or off-farm. Not only on farm, but also we talk about whole agribusiness, that also in off farm, that agribusiness agricultural ecosystem with technology. How do we solve farmers' problem with our innovation? We can see in here that some stakeholders involved in this agricultural ecosystem, like ecosystem sustainability guarantor, ecosystem facilitator, off-taker, and then agri-fund and agri-insurance provider, agri-input provider, also agri-tax provider. So, of course, farmer as the actor of this agricultural ecosystem. And this is a value proposition. Its stakeholder, that agri-fund and insurance, the customer acquisition, harvest guarantee, certainty of loan, returning from farmers and then from shop or distributor, market certainty, enabling an effective input distribution, and then extension officer, that information upgrade, and then also update data from surveillance, off-taker, supplier certainty, and also traceability information about commodity. And then about local community or farmers, funding access, technology access, productivity improvement, fire press, and also agri-input access. And this is about food traceability. We can see here, we can check, we can monitor from land, production, from farmers, and then until customer. We can check the traceability, transparency of the product, commodity, fertilizer, and so on, doses, and so on. We can check from the farmers until customer. Now, so this is process of traceability from land history, agricultural practice history, handling history, processing history, and then manufacture history, distribution history, and then get traceability QR code that's safe and responsible to consumption. And this is our project with one of the bank in Indonesia, National Bank Indonesia, that about QR code, we quick response code, explain the origin of products and activity farmers in producing products. Customers feel comfortable because a guarantee that the product is safe for consumption. And this is our product also, that value added to the final product, higher selling price for farmers, safe consumption for customer. Next, this is dashboard for stakeholders. That this is, we can see in here that summary of farmer data. We can check, we can see the farmer activity, active farmer, commodity register, land register, and so on. We can see also commodity in the land. We can see, we can check, and also about who is the most active farmers active, and this easy for data reporting, flexible report. And then the next, this is a case studies. Our project with Asian Development Bank projects, that this is notable projects that from Asian Development Bank with the BPNAS, that Ministry of National Planning, that more than 25,000 hectare in Sukabumi and Pasaman Barat in West Sumatra, with the crops is padi, corn, and chili, and then 50,000 farmers involved, 40% should be female. That is the project is about leveraging ICT in irrigated agriculture extension. We use some technology, drone sprayer, drone surveillance, water discharge sensor, and soil and water sensor, weather sensor. And this is the social impact of this project, that assessing technology and then improving income by giving fair price, we can increase farmer revenue. We empower females in farmers' households and also financial inclusion. 49% of poverty occurs in farmer household, more than 12 million. And this is the other implementation, the other projects with Sidikalang Reborn is like coffee, with coverage area 10,000 hectare, number of farmers 5,000. That the service is microcredit, IoT technology of Taker. With the some stakeholder, we can see in the up of this poster, there's some institution, some ministry involved in this project. And then this is implementation in Gunung Kidul in Yogyakarta with Komisi Padi, with coverage area 300 hectare, with number of farmers 125 farmers, with the services microcredit, IoT technology of Taker and agri input. And also with corn in Dompu in West Nusa Tenggara, and also in Malang, West Java, East Java, with the commodity salad. And this is some with some private sector with BRI Microfinance, also with the Ministry Agriculture, and also with Situbondo district. And this is also with private sector, also with Soho Global Health, with Herbal Kurkuma, and also with the farmer group in Sleman, Jakarta. And the last about conclusion, that one is technology. The application of smart farming can be applied to increase productivity and efficiency of fertilization, as well as production costs in agricultural commodity. Technology in agriculture will be more useful in solving problems from land to table if applied in agricultural ecosystem, including food availability and security with the concept of traceability. And three, about the success of an agricultural ecosystem with technology depends on the commitment of each stakeholder in the ecosystem. That is the conclusion of my presentation today about implementation of agricultural ecosystem based on smart farming technology. Ada tugasnya langsung atau nanti? Tugasnya langsung. Okay, after you know about understand about climate change and smart farming technology in Indonesia, so I need some question with so the world weather is changing. There are flood in some place and droughts in other. There will be more storm and get too hot to live in some place. People all over the world will be affected. How the climate changing where you live? I think you from the other countries, the other area, the other province. So please spread the condition of extreme weather in your village, city or country, and how to adapt and mitigate in agricultural sector. And then second, if any technology applied to adapt and mitigate, please write what is the technology to adapt and mitigate the climate change in your village, your city, country, and so on. Gimana, Mas? Ya, jadi ditulis di kertas.
Now you can write the answer on the paper.
Please put the paper and write in the
write your answer based on these questions on the paper, and we'll try to collect your answer. Okay. For the online participants, the committee will create Google form, then you can answer the questions as well.
Okay. Also, if you have any question, please raise hand. If you have any question about what is the effect of climate change and how relates with smart farming technology from my presentation, please raise hand. And
So we just had really nice presentations about the smart farming. So now, if you have any questions, then you can raise your hand and ask questions directly to the speakers. Okay. Mr. Abu? Yes, yes, you can directly. Yeah. To you.
if you have any question, please directly to. Okay, and the other you can write this question.
Yeah, so very interesting topic to discuss. My name is Abu Huraira and I'm from Pakistan. So first of all, are there any statistics that implementing technology in the farming or agriculture industry attracts young people towards agriculture? And second is,
What? I'm sorry.
okay, I will repeat the question. Are there any statistics, real-time statistics that implementing technology attracts more young people towards agriculture? And second is, how does the solutions mentioned actually help in solving the existing problems? Like this was partially answered because the data you provided in the end in the implementation section. But the third question is that how will a farmer who's unaware of all of these tech and systems will implement these in his farms and manage all of this by himself? Not to forget the expenses required for that and technicalities of like sensor categories. There are like qualities and sensors and all and the system. So how will he manage it all by himself? So what, like, don't you think that the main problem here should be training the farmers to use these systems and all? Yeah, these are my main questions that I would like to be clear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. First is about statistical data, I think. Statistical data, yeah, in Indonesia, no, many young people, so they go to as farmers with any program with from government, like millennial farmers in Indonesia, and this data, I'm not sure about the statistical, but the almost no, almost I think 30%, 20 until 30% young people in Indonesia, they go to agricultural sector, they build startup, and then also they trading and so on. But to 20 until 30%, I think. Now the young people in Indonesia interested in agriculture, using I think build startup, and then the e-commerce, agricultural community, and so on. This is the first the second is about, I'm sorry.
About the solutions that were mentioned, like you gave about the application and all, but that was answered when you provide the implementation slide. So yeah, that's not a question anymore. But the last one was, how will
Okay.
a farmer who is unaware?
Yeah. Yeah, this technology involved in this agricultural ecosystem. So the farmers not buy this technology. Who is the buy this technology? This technology by government or by bank. So the farmers not buying this technology. So why I mentioned in here that smart farming should be involved, this technology involved in this agricultural ecosystem. if I farmers and then I buy this technology, I think the price is very high and then complicated. I think this technology in the technical so on, but this technology should be involved in this agricultural ecosystem. So the farmer not should buy this technology, the technology by bank or government, something like that. This the when this technology in the case I explain about agricultural ecosystem, something like that. So farmers not buying this technology.
But like I didn't saw any programs mention that will train farmers or young people
Yeah.
like to actually use
Yeah.
this technology in an efficient way. So are there any programs that exist or that should be implemented? It is also a phase, but it's a later phase, or what's the progress of that? I mean, training the farmers to use these technologies efficiently.
Yeah, the in this I forgot to explain that in this agriculture system penyuluh itu apa ya kata Inggrisnya? Penyuluh kan? Facilitator. Yeah, facilitator from the government should accompany the farmers. And then 1 week, 2 weeks, they also accompany and then explain about this technology. And the farmers should be accompanied by children or his family, or their family should be accompanying the farmer. So not only farmers, but the member of family should be included in this socialization accompanied by facilitator. This to give information that agriculture, no technology in agriculture can be applied in this agricultural sector, something like that.
So in the progress, like, is there any data that how successful it is going?
Okay.
Like, is it a positive response or a negative response, like, from
Okay,
the farmer?
statistical about statistical in Indonesia still this by project, not sustainability. Sustain as the program long term, not bad in Indonesia. Still the by project. This is our weakness that this still our pilot project. So yeah, after 1 year, 2 years, enough, not sustain like that. But this program is implemented in some province in Indonesia. But in statistical, yeah, not yet measure about the statistical progress.
Well, yeah, that answers my question, and thank you so much. Very interesting topic. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, more questions? Okay.
Question.
Oh, you can ask a
Answer,
question.
just answer the question that you gave.
Okay, you can answer this question. Okay, directly. Please turn off. Turn on.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Asad Aldin. I'm from Yemen. Chemical engineering students at Universitas Islam Indonesia. For the first question, according to the climate in my country, I think our climate is not like Indonesia.
Yeah.
Just 2 seasons.
Yeah.
We have 4 seasons.
Okay.
That's like reduce the casualties of the climate that expected to happen. Also, for me, I don't live in village. I live in city. For that, maybe I don't have like more knowledge or more ideas about agriculture there or something like that. But I think, in my opinion, just these 4 seasons can like help the climate to like never happen or get like more challenges. This is for the first question. For the second question is about what's the technology that we can like use it to reduce the climate changes, or like in my opinion, I think nowadays artificial intelligence like can help us more. It's the first and the best technology that we can use it to help us in life. Also, we can use like early warning system. Maybe this can improve the system to help us to know what will happen like early. We can prepare and be ready for the maybe the natural phenomena. That's all I think for me.
Okay, thank you from Yaman. Yeah, I think artificial intelligence is all of the word use it to reduce, yeah. And also about early warning system. But the question is about early warning system. How accurate this accurate about early warning system in your country?
I think
For
in
example,
Yemen we don't have like natural phenomena like here
oh,
in
okay,
Indonesia.
yeah.
We don't have like volcanoes. We don't have like something like that. Alhamdulillah. And for that we don't use that always.
Okay.
But we have like sometimes if in some cities if the rain is like higher,
Yeah.
maybe they have like how we call it. Yeah, maybe you have like some people who they are like working in this thing. They can like help the people who live in the village who, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because your country is different with Indonesia, I think. So, yeah, same with I mentioned before that this is case in Indonesia. So the Indonesia is very unique. As we have some volcano, some for agriculture also one area, one province, and the other province also different. One district and the other district is different. So this the difference. So in the I mentioned before that this is case in Indonesia, I think. Yeah. Ada pertanyaan? Nggak di ini.
There's some questions from Zoom or the online participants. There is one from PH Maria Abigail. Since the previous presenters talked about AI in a greenhouse and you highlight smart farming in open field, what do you think is more effective in mitigating and adapting to climate change? Smart farming in conventional farming or smart farming under farm structures like a greenhouse? Thank you. A question is from Philippines.
Yeah, thank you, Dulce Maria Abigail from Philippines. If we talk is about smart farmings, the more challenges if in the open field. If we talk in farm structure like greenhouse, we can apply this technology because we can control, we can monitor as we need. But in open field, it's very challenging because as we know that climate is given. So we should given we should appropriate with the natural, not natural. We can monitor or control the natural. This is challenging. So in the case, I talk about this more effective in open fields because in Indonesia greenhouse just only for research for productivity. I think because it's costly. So I think not all farmers need a greenhouse. So the need farmers in Indonesia, I think about smart farming in the open fields because Indonesia 2 seasons and then water and then climate environmental condition is support to plants. I think Thailand also, Malaysia with the condition is environmental condition is support to planting. I think so. In this case, in our case, that smart farming in conventional farming or in open field, not in conventional farming, but in open field is more effective to adapt and mitigate climate change, something like that. Yeah. Okay.
So I would simplify the problem. First of all, I'm talking about my city, Karachi, which is located in Sindh province of Pakistan, near the Indus River and Arabian Sea. So there's a common climate change problem. My city, the temperatures are increasing, and we had a huge mangroves forest near the coast, which used to protect us from tsunamis and the conditions in the sea, like cyclones and all. And but right now, as the mangroves are being depleted, yeah, so the thing is that now we are at a greater risk of tsunamis from the seas. And according to the experts, it can wipe out the whole entire city in just 20 minutes. So, and it really affects our economy of the country, and it's a big problem. So I guess it's for the first part, and second part, the technology that can be used in mitigating that climate change effect is, I guess, the 3D drone technology used to map the area, and then maybe using the plantation drones to effectively plant more mangroves, because they are not just like the barriers for from the natural disasters, but also the habitats for fishes and sea life to grow. So that was my simplified version of those two questions. So mapping technology using drones and plantation drones, I guess.
Yeah, thank you very much for your answer. So it's related with the previous question. The adaptation and mitigation of climate change is more effective in the open fields, not in farm structure in this case. So, for example, mangrove and the other countries, I think also more effective using like drones, early warning system, and then also AI for the to give information like early warning system for to the farmers and to the people.
Okay. Okay. There's one questions from Aji Wikandaru. Okay, mau langsung.
Okay, thank you, Mas Aji. Yeah, it's interesting. How do you maintain commitment for every sector in traceability process? Yeah, one of the most important to apply this traceability process or agricultural ecosystem is how to make connection, how to approach the farmers and the other stakeholder in agricultural ecosystem. So what should we do about this agricultural ecosystem? First, we go to the farmers, and then we say to the farmers that we have off-taker, because one of the most important stakeholder for the farmers is about off-taker. So first about off-taker. After off-taker and then deal or okay, and then the other stakeholder will be support. For example, bank, because bank, if they give credit, the bank not worry because the farmer will be back the money, because off-taker will buy the commodity from the farmers, like that. So the key of this agriculture ecosystem is off-taker. First, we go to the farmers and we say to the farmers, this is off-taker will buy your commodity, your harvest commodity from your land. This is the first we will make some agricultural ecosystem or this traceability process, something like that. Mas Aji Wikandaru. Okay, any question or
Thank you.
or
Any
some
questions? More questions?
Oh.
Or maybe you have some opinions.
Gimana? Gimana lo? Okay, hello, I'm Aulia from Indonesia. So, notice that Indonesia has large and fast agricultural system. Smart farming might be one of a good problem-solve solution. But we know that nowadays people tend to think like, why would I need to work involving in a farming system instead of I can work on high credited company? It would be one of the biggest challenge. Aside of that, I think it would be hard to ask for some financial trust fund from government. So to change these people, to change these people, to change this notice people mind, to make them interested in this process, what kind of solution would you think the best way to solve this? I mean, how do we seduce young people to get interested and involved in this smart farming process, and how the field realization and challenge this part? Thank you. Bapak, kepanjangan nggak, Pak?
kepanjangan? It's too long. Ya boleh pikirin. Ya please. Yeah, your question is too long and too fast. In the Zoom chat.
Indonesia aja ya, Pak.
Ya boleh.
Saya
boleh.
juga udah. Intinya kan di Indonesia itu kan susah kan,
Iya.
Pak, kalau semisal smart farming itu. Jadi kan terus orang-orang muda itu kayak lebih mikir kayak ngapain sih harus kerja di sektor agrikultur gitu loh. Kenapa? Padahal kan kita bisa kerja di kayak IT yang uangnya
Iya.
banyak gitu kan. Nah, itu menurut Bapak gimana cara kita biar anak-anak muda ini tuh tertarik ke dunia pertanian biar bisa ngembangin smart
Iya.
farming yang
Oke.
tadi.
Oke, thank you. Saya pakai bahasa Inggris. Oke, thank you for your question. Okay, how to make young people interested in agriculture? Yeah, we introduce that we compare. We compare. We introduce that technology can be applied in agriculture. For example, I mentioned before that drones and then application and then Instagram or WhatsApp. We can use it to in the agriculture. For example, if we will sell the commodity, harvest commodity, we can use WhatsApp, we can use Instagram and so on. And also we use drones. If we use drone, now we use drone to get picture and video. Now we can use this drone to monitoring land. And also we can use automatic using tractor. We can use automatic tractor to in the land. Then this technology you should introduce to the young people. So the image of agriculture conventional and then conventional and no technology. We will change it to the technology with smart farming. In some areas, the young people as millennial farmers, they will go to the field after get notification or recommendation. For example, now is scheduled to give fertilizer. They will go to the farmer, to the land to give the fertilizer. After that, we go to the school or to the university and so on. So not only farmers, young people, not only farmers as farmers, but also you can, and the young people can not only are farmers, also a student or as for example the other profession. Like then in some areas like Gojek, same like Gojek, and then also he is a farmers because smart using smartphone they will warning if any disease today is scheduled to give fertilizer. They will go to the farm and then give after they give the fertilizer and then they back to this profession, something like that. We should introduce a technology and we can change image or mindset of agriculture that technology can be applied in agriculture, something like that. Thank you. Kalau ngaku bahasa Indonesia lebih jelas. Saya yang Any question or volunteer to answer this question in the screen? Yeah. Question or the answer this question?
Question.
Aduh.
So after I'm Indah from Indonesia, and I want to ask how if the application or the drone error, and I
Yeah.
mean like, is there any technician
Yeah.
or someone who will take care of this? Thank you.
Yeah. As same with this Apu questions about this technical. If any something wrong with the drones and with the technology. So where in this case, smart farming is more effective if in agriculture ecosystem, because in the agriculture ecosystem, in the stakeholder, any provider, any technology provider. So if any problems, any wrong with the technology or drones or sensor, the technology provider with involved in this agricultural ecosystem should be repaired and so on. Give guarantee, like something like that. So not farmers by technology enough, not, but so the more effective this technology if involved in this agriculture ecosystem, something like that. Yeah, thank you. Any question or the volunteer to answer the?
If you have questions,
One again, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have a question, but I just wanted to share.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Because in the Netherlands, we face very different
Yeah.
issues. So regarding climate change, the biggest issue we are facing is the regulations, the EU regulations about reducing the carbon, which puts a lot of pressure on the agricultural sector because they use a lot of they produce a lot of carbon. And the other problem we are facing is, of course, that a big part of our country is underwater, under sea level. So we need to build the dikes to protect the country. But it's very interesting to hear this because we don't really face droughts yet because of all the rain, of course. But it's cool that there's big differences there. Yeah, that's not really a question.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for your sharing. Yeah, it's why I asked to you, all of you, that you should answer the question, because I know you know from you come from the other countries, the other province from Indonesia, also the other countries, the other district. So they have many challenges, they have many problems to adapt and mitigation of to adaptation and mitigation of climate change, I think. So thank you very much for your sharing.
Okay, the time is up, and with the smart farming, we can control and monitor the agriculture system precisely, and also increase the productivity, and of course, in general, income for farmers. It will be nice to switch from conventional agriculture to a more advanced agriculture using a smart farming as explained by Dr. Bayu Dwi Aprinugroho. So give applause to our presenters. And I will give this back to Master of Ceremony. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for the speakers and our moderators for these sessions. There is such a insightful, and also we have known the the difference from other countries compared to other countries from agricultural problems. Now, before we finish these sessions, we have a certificate of participations to our speakers, to Pak Bayu Dwi Aprinugroho PhD, will be given by our moderator, Pak Bayu Nugraha PhD. Yeah, please, Pak Bayu and Pak Bayu. Boleh diambilkan juga. Please give a round of applause to our speakers and moderator. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Pak Bayu Dwi Nugroho, PhD. And then we also have certificate of appreciation for our moderator, Pak Bayu Nugraha, PhD, that will be given by our chairpersons of summer course, Pak Agung. Pak Bayu, please come to the stage. Nggak usah. Yeah, please give a round of applause again. Thank you. So with that, we have finished all the sessions of today. And before we finish this, I would like to remind all the participants to fill the attendance form that will be displayed in the Zoom meeting also here. Yeah, please fill the attendance form. We also like to remind all the participants to please see the log and review materials, and also do the post test that can be accessed by 5 p.m. And I also want to inform all the participants here, for the on-site participants, that tomorrow's schedule is a field trip schedule to Selo Pamero village in Bantul. We will depart from FTP UGM from here at 7:30 sharp, 7:30. So please come before that, before 7:30. And please bring your the necessary, like maybe you boat hat, or your water bottles also, please bring it with you. And then maybe you're sensitive to sun, please bring sunblocks. Yeah. Also, please wear the shirts that we have gave you yesterday. Yeah, don't bring any heavy things, just bring your necessary. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to bring laptops or maybe something like that, just phone is fine. Ya udah. Sudah. We will also inform you guys before tomorrow we will go to the Selo Pamero village by bus, and we have already divided you into 2 buses. And here the arrangement. We will also share this file for all the participants in the group message in group chats. And if you still have questions, please reach the committee. Feel free to reach us. We will help as much as we can. Have a good rest today. Please don't sleep too late as we are going to go early tomorrow because we have quite tight schedule also. Please come on time. Thank you so much everyone for your attention today. Have a good rest. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Goodbye. See you. Question.
We will get coffee tomorrow morning before going.
Oh,